Good morning, and welcome once again to Artists and Authors. And it's going to have a very nice show today. We have some artists and something they call boudoir photography or something like that. Anyway, we have Marcus Dorado, Ro Barunda, Rotpes, Graphilthy, and Stay Filthy. I'm innocent of that. And Matt Embry. And we'll be right back.
Hi everyone, I am Sparkle Sujin with the Everything Sparkle Show. Tune in every Thursday live at 4 p.m. You will see people that are motivational, inspirational, inspiring, and of course, entertaining. We have a great time. We learn things about how big celebrities are inspiring big names here in Fresno. Hugh Hefner is the reason we have Fresno Magazine, and Gnarly Charlie got his start because Johnny Carson told him to. So, tune in, you'll learn something new, and have a good time.
Highlights, balayage, color, extensions, cuts, pure Brazilian blowouts, treatments. Contact Jordan Myers at Hair by Jordan.
Did you know most hair and beauty salons in the Central Valley are not disposing of their chemicals correctly? Partner with us today to become an eco-friendly salon. Visit us online at greenbeautywaste.com. Our phone number is 559-367-7206. And be sure to visit us on Instagram and Facebook at Green Beauty Waste.
Is everything in life draining you? Come to Stretch 360. Our professional staff can offer you many options for relaxation like deep tissue or hot stone massages, infrared medical grade sauna. Once you leave us, you'll look and feel like $1,000,000. Stretch 360. Relaxation is only a stretch away.
The Art of Becoming Who We Are in Christ by Jolene Kennedy is a book about the process of maturity as we find our true identity, since God's promises must be received, embraced, and activated within us. Get your copy today and check out JoleneKennedy.com. Fleet Feet Fresno is more than just a running and sportswear store. Fleet Feet Sports' mission is to provide runners and other active Fresnans with gear that fits their individual needs, training that helps them reach their fitness goals, and races that satisfy their competitive spirit. Get to know Fleet Feet Fresno today. If your home floods, who will you call? When your house springs a leak, it's time to call Clean Master Emergency Flood Service at 559-213-9430. Clean Master will be there in 60 minutes to start fixing your home. And Clean Master bills your insurance directly, saving you the hassle because you've got enough to worry about. Clean Master also offers carpet and upholstery cleaning, carpet repair, pet odor removal, and more. Remember, Clean Master Emergency Flood Service. 559-213-9430 and visit cleanmasterflood.com.
Pour yourself a glass of Crybaby wine available at the market and Sam's Italian Deli. And remember to ask for Crybaby wine at your
Back again, but before I go on with my first guest, I want to tell you a little bit of good news for me anyway. My books, the Saga of Bridget and Amanda, are selling really well on Kindle, but that's a very small royalty, so please start buying them. You'll love them. Okay, here we are. We're going to talk to Rotpes?
Yes, Rotpes. Yes.
Hi. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
So great, and I'm glad you came in this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And it's very, very interesting, this title here, so I really want to hear from you and tell me what's happening.
Okay. Well, Rotpes is it's a graffiti, like, self-given name. And then Graphilthy is a clothing brand / like art kind of art brand. So that's graffiti, and then filthy is just kind of just added to it. So that's the background
It's a little
behind
fun,
the
a
name.
little fun in the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about this. Is it your business or what?
Yes, it's a business, and I started with doing like clothing, so like silk screening shirts, stuff like that. I've kind of back in probably about 2008. So I've been doing it for a little while, and kind of just was doing it part time, and just recently, maybe over the past year or so, like jumped into it full time and been able to do stuff other than just T-shirts, being able to do like actual clothing, hats, full
that's
on
interesting.
outfits and stuff like that too. So.
Yeah, now sometimes, excuse me, got a little gluck in there. It's really fun to have people in that do a different, a really creative thing, and some people wouldn't think of that as art too much, but it's art. Definitely is.
Yeah. I mean, I have an art background. I come from probably drawing and painting since little guy, probably 5-6 years old.
No kidding.
Yeah, and then I think probably about 15-16 got into like doing like graffiti and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And then just recently I started doing like kind of trying to, I guess, like elevate and start doing canvases,
good.
more stuff inside versus outdoors. So it's been it's been fun, like the transition, and just learning how to paint with brushes and different mediums versus just like aerosol and spray paint and stuff like that. So
Yeah, well, that's really interesting. That's a whole change in your art.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. And you did you choose a particular type of art that you paint?
Well, I mean, I started with like the stained glass look. I'd like to do stained glass, but I mean, I understand like that it's kind of expensive to like get that going. So I'm trying to paint it and get the still get the feel for it, and bring that to the audience. And so far so good. I've probably for Art Hop later on this evening, I probably made about 4 or 5 paintings. So
good.
just to kind of start things up.
And where's your art hop tonight?
Art Hop for us is going to be at Rebel Insurance downtown. It's downtown on Fulton, 1530 Fulton Street, number 101. It's right on the corner of Fulton and Calaveras, I believe.
Oh,
So
good. Well, that's easy to find.
Yeah, it'll
Have
be.
some people there.
Yeah. I hope to. I've been promoting social media, online stuff like that. So hopefully, hopefully some people come out and come check it out. Come check out the paintings, and just Art Hop's really grown this past few years. So.
Oh yes, it has.
Yeah.
Some people do come there not to eat, but to actually look.
Yeah, I've actually gotten a lot of people just this recently. I've been doing it since last year, probably like the summertime. But just recently, I've been getting a lot of people asking me like, how do they get into it? And it's kind of like,
Great.
I'm just like, well, come talk to me. Come to Art Hop
You
and come.
be a teacher and you get extra money.
Right.
That's good. So the paintings you do tonight, what media did you use for them?
I used like spray paint background, and then went over with acrylics, and then just so it's mostly like oil-based spray paint, and then acrylics on top, on canvas, on canvases.
Oh,
So,
great,
yeah.
great. That's good because they last longer than any other form.
Yeah.
Pastels and things like that can crumble over the years, you know.
I'd like to try, new stuff, but I'm kind of like, okay, well, trying to ease into just the whole, really trying to bring the graffiti style like into indoors. So that's what I'm trying to shoot for.
That's nice. I like that.
I don't think, I mean, it's probably been done in Fresno before, but I haven't seen it, and just like recently, past couple of years, I haven't ever seen that style at Art Hops or anything like that.
That's a plus for you.
Yeah.
That's really nice. And you got 5 paintings for tonight?
Yeah, about 5 paintings for tonight.
And are
Probably
they scenery or what are they?
So I have one of an apple, like it was just supposed to symbolize, like I liked it, like the knowledge, the symbolization. It's like a hand holding an apple. in front of like almost like in front of a cathedral stained glass. I kind of captured that stained glass look for that one. I have a Fresno one of like a downtown Fresno, just like the Crest Theater, just like the monumental
Those kinds
Fresno
sell.
landmarks. So
Anything about Fresno?
I hope so. I was like, okay, that's kind of. I did it to sell them, obviously, but more or less to kind of show some type of like this pride for Fresno, and just, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
hometown, you know.
Well, you know, it's good to get paid for them, but the thing that you really get the love for is just doing them.
Yeah.
And enjoying it, you know.
I've noticed too, yeah. But prior to these ones, I was doing like more pop cartoon characters, and those are cool. People like to take pictures in front of them, but this, I think, will be a little bit more. I get a little better feedback, I think, because I was actually doing it, you know, not to get, you know, obviously to get paid, but not. I was doing it more for the love of it, you know.
Yeah,
and
it's
self-fulfillment.
wonderful that you can add another part of your art. And you know, sometimes we ignore certain things because we like something else better. But if you can keep that openness, that, you know, you just really enjoy everything you do, that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
After all, art is something that you love. It's part of love. You know.
I like I like that it brings, you know, definitely, it brings that love or those feelings to other people too. So
Yeah, that's right. I forget about the people looking at the pictures.
Like what do they feel like? You know, I definitely keep that in mind. You know, when I'm making stuff, when I'm painting or whatnot. So.
Did you bring any pictures of your work today?
I brought pictures. I submitted some stuff online. I don't have any. I have like, I can show you the. Like what I was talking about as far as like the more pop character stuff like that. I have these stickers, so you can kind of see.
Oh.
So it's kind of different. This is
not going to get over there, I think, but that's adorable.
Yeah, it's all like digital art versus you know, stuff on paper and whatnot. So
That's really not. But I think you're moving up past that.
Yeah,
You can still do it for fun, but I think you're probably gonna.
I hope so.
down the
Yeah,
art.
I hope so, because this is a big difference from selling stickers to canvas work and
It's a
stuff
step
like that.
forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, Rotpes, I'm going to thank you for
Okay.
coming in today.
Thank you.
And what we try to do with the people that come in is promote them. So we like you to come more often.
Okay.
When you've got art or something to show us, or you can send it in, email to here, and come in again.
All right.
Okay,
For sure.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. All right. Have a good day.
We'll be right back.
have a good time. Enjoy life. And it's life is too short to get bogged down, to be discouraged, or you have to keep moving. You have to keep going. Put one foot in front of the other, smile, and just keep on rolling.
When you need to get fit, contact Gary Torres, IFBB Pro, specializing in weight loss, body transformations, and contest prep. Email GaryTorres5336@yahoo.com.
Hey, I'm Chris DeVolt. Tune in every Friday night on CentralValleyTalk.com when I bring you Sex, Drugs, Chris DeVolt, where I'll give you 3 guesses on what we talk about. And I also vow to bring you 1 live local music act a week. So tune in every week because you never know what kind of music you're going to hear right here on CentralValleyTalk.com.
The Space Colony Journals are an epic tale of a family's struggle to survive. Meet the courageous women and dangerous men who dare to carve a home on the alien world of Vensu. Get your copy today. Available on Amazon and Gail Daly's FineArt.com.
You enter this door with expired tags. Beyond is another dimension, a dimension of regulations, a dimension of long waits. You have reached the registration zone. What looks like an ordinary shop is actually Mitchell Smog, located in the heart of the Tower District, a few minutes from the DMV. Mitchell Smog offers your vehicle a STAR-certified smog inspection. So remember Mitchell Smog when you need to pass through the registration zone.
Contact Sarah Hernandez of June and Matte Photography to schedule your portrait, engagement, wedding, or next family photo session. But that's not all. Sarah is also your personal brandographer, helping you ditch the stock photos and get images that sell. Call 559-412-3721. Visit JuneandMattPhoto.com and follow Sarah on Instagram and Facebook. Give your child the tools to succeed. The Yergubian Academic Center offers one-on-one and group educational lessons by appointment. Over 90% of our students show significant improvement in their academics in just 3 months. Students of the Yergubian Academic Center have gone on to UCLA, UC San Diego, Yale, Stanford, and many more prestigious universities. Schedule a tutoring session today. Call 559-437-3973.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Hi, we're back again, and we have a very, very interesting guest next. And you will appreciate the fact that he is a professional man, and he's done a lot of art in a lot of places. And his name is Marcus Dorado.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm glad you came in. I
Thank
really
you.
am. And we were talking just a little bit before, and this is a very interesting man.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you think so.
I want you to tell them some of the things you told me that are so interesting about you.
Oh, sure. Well, I've been doing art full time for almost 20 years. And I started off with drawing, which I still do. And I studied drawing at Art Students League of New York City, which is in Midtown.
Wow.
And then also Grand Central Academy. When I attended school there, it was also in Midtown, but it has since relocated to Queens. And so I studied classical drawing. It was all done with live nude models.
Wow.
It was a magnificent education. And so I've gone on to do art full time. In the last almost 2 years, I've included photography as well. And so then now one of the projects that I'm developing started as a drawing exhibit, a solo show at the Fresno Art Museum.
Oh, great.
2 years ago, Immigrant Me. And so that featured drawings, most of them life-size, of immigrants, along with a story of each one.
Wow.
And so I wanted to continue to move this project along, just because there's so much negative rhetoric about immigrants spewed throughout the country. And certainly there's negativity when it comes to some forms of immigration, but there's also a lot of positive that comes from immigration.
Well, I'm glad
and
to
there's
hear
a lot
that.
of magnificent immigrants that come and become part of this country. I myself am an immigrant. And so I figured, well, as an artist, having a voice and art being a language of communication, of course, then it became incumbent upon me to share stories that help balance out the negative side that is promoted so much, and share a lot of the positive.
That's perfectly wonderful.
Thank
That's
you.
what we need. We need more. People have to start looking at another person and say, "Oh, there's a positive friend right there."
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
they got to stop turning away from each other all the time.
That is true. I agree. And so this project features, as I said, it began as a solo exhibit at the Fresno Art Museum in drawing. I switched it over to photography, and we can see one of the photos there. And right now we're featuring there Mr. Lee Herrick, who is a professor here at Fresno City College and a nationally known poet as well. And so he immigrated when he was an infant. He was adopted by an American white family from Korea in the early 70s. And so he grew up in Walnut Creek, went on to college, and so now is a professor here and a beloved individual here in the community. And so we went out and we shot this picture on Fulton Street, downtown. And so this will be part of the exhibit, and we did an interview already, and so I'm in the process of creating his story that will go along with the portrait.
What a wonderful idea.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because there's so many people that come in to this country with some don't even have a lot of money or anything.
Right.
They'll come in and they'll take whatever job they can get. They
Right.
work hard until they can get to the point where they can be creative, do the thing they love to do, and they bring a lot of wonderful things into this country.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, that is why do we speak English here? Because of immigrants. Why do we celebrate Christmas? Because of immigrants. Literally. So much of what we have in this country is created by, was a custom elsewhere, and it was brought here. I mean, why do we enjoy tacos here? Well, because of immigrants too.
Yeah, immigrants too. A lot of them.
Right. And so this project, my goal again is to promote the positive side of immigration. Now on the screen we have Indra. She is a young lady. This photograph was taken 1 week after she received her legal permanent residence card, her green card.
Oh, great.
So her husband is also an immigrant, and he is a serviceman in the U.S. Navy.
Oh, wow. What's better than that?
Right. And so she's got a magnificent story. We did the interview as well, and we did a series of photos. We do a photo shoot, and I asked them to dress however they want to dress. Some want to represent, a little bit of their culture. Others want to, they're more in touch, or they prefer to, represent themselves the way they are now. And so I leave it entirely up to them. On the screen now we have Fernando Jimenez, who is an extraordinary musician. He often plays with, or he's part of the band with Patrick Contreras.
Oh.
So his great love is music. By day, he's a U.S. postal delivery man, and he's a wonderful person altogether. And so he's got a great story. He immigrated here when he was a child through his family, of course, and grew up in southern Arizona. And so,
Well, it's almost like a gift to them to have people see what they've become
right,
being an American and
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, this wonderful lady whom I met in the Bay Area, Melinda is her name, and she is from Slovakia, I believe, and she immigrated here in the early 90s. She was a registered nurse there, and then did her schooling here so that she could be a registered nurse in this country. And so she continues to live in the Bay Area. And she came down here for a shoot, and then I went up there as well to do a follow-up shoot, which is where this picture was taken.
This is really a great idea. And what happens with the pictures? Do they come into some other part of a...
Yeah, so they will exhibit as a collection, as a documentary through photography. And as of now, the first exhibit as a photography documentary will be this August at John Hancock College in Santa Maria.
Oh, that's
so it'll
neat
exhibit.
place.
Yeah, it'll exhibit from August till October, and then I'm in talks with the Museum of Social Justice in downtown LA about having it exhibit there as a solo show as well.
You do a lot of traveling.
Yeah, I enjoy traveling, so it works out well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very exciting. I'm glad that you're doing this. I'm sure you enjoy it. I can see it in your face how much you enjoy it.
Very much so. As I mentioned, I'm an immigrant. I came here with my family when I was 5, and it was very difficult, and we grew up in Madera, and at the time there was nobody spoke Spanish in my class. There were only 3 Mexicans total in my class. The teacher spoke no Spanish.
It's different now.
Very different. That school now, you probably find 3 white kids in the entire school.
Yes.
But back then, I was only one of 3 Mexicans.
Yeah,
and,
we're losing out. We're going down.
in certain areas, I go to other places where, I never see a Mexican face, but there might be German faces.
We all belong here. We're all Americans, so it's different.
Yeah, of course, there's legal stuff that goes with that. And but beyond that, there's a lot of rhetoric that can be harmful and hurtful. And so this project aims to counterbalance that and promote the humanity within the immigrant community.
I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you
very
so
much.
much. And please come in again.
I will. Thank you.
I want to hear about more people and everything.
For sure.
Okay, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Hi everyone, I am Sparkle Sujin with the Everything Sparkle Show. Tune in every Thursday live at 4 p.m. You will see people that are motivational, inspirational, inspiring, and of course, entertaining. We have a great time. We learn things about how big celebrities are inspiring big names here in Fresno. Hugh Hefner is the reason we have Fresno Magazine, and Gnarly Charlie got his start because Johnny Carson told him to. So, tune in, you'll learn something new, and have a good time.
Highlights, balayage, color, extensions, cuts, pure Brazilian blowouts, treatments. Contact Jordan Myers at Hair by Jordan. Did you know most hair and beauty salons in the Central Valley are not disposing of their chemicals correctly? Partner with us today to become an eco-friendly salon. Visit us online at greenbeautywaste.com. Our phone number is 559-367-7206. And be sure to visit us on Instagram and Facebook at Green Beauty Waste.
Is everything in life draining you? Come to Stretch 360. Our professional staff can offer you many options for relaxation like deep tissue or hot stone massages, infrared medical grade sauna. Once you leave us, you'll look and feel like $1,000,000. Stretch 360. Relaxation is only a stretch away.
The Art of Becoming Who We Are in Christ by Jolene Kennedy is a book about the process of maturity as we find our true identity, since God's promises must be received, embraced, and activated within us. Get your copy today and check out JoleneKennedy.com. Fleet Feet Fresno is more than just a running and sportswear store. Fleet Feet Sports' mission is to provide runners and other active Fresnans with gear that fits their individual needs, training that helps them reach their fitness goals, and races that satisfy their competitive spirit. Get to know Fleet Feet Fresno today.
Women started marching in 1848. Oh, women started marching way back in 1848. Oh, we're marching yet today, 'cause the need is still so great. They finally freed the black man in 1865. Don't you know they finally freed the black man in 1865. Hey, we're waiting for our turn, and our hopes remain alive. Oh, now they said that we could vote in 1920. Well, the fight's not over yet. We got a long way.
Hi, we're back again, and we're going to have a type of thing that's been different from the other artists. These are artists, music artists, and we're going to have a good time with them. Hi, and it's Harriet. And at Matt Embry.
Yes, Matthew,
Hi.
Matt. Yes, hi. Good to see you,
Matthew,
Carol.
Matt, whatever. Same here. I'm glad to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I always love
Good to be
having
here.
them, especially such talented people.
Ah, you're kind. You're kind.
Yes, no,
Well, you do this very well.
Oh, thank you. You know what I do? My secret is
What?
I come in and I sit down here and I turn on the actress.
Ah,
And the actress takes over.
that's great. You've got one in there then. Well,
yes,
she's serving
yes.
you well.
Oh, that's my favorite. All the wonderful things that God has given me. That's the one I like the best. The actress.
Very good. It's very good. You found a place for her.
Yes, I
Yes,
did.
yes.
Okay, I want to find what you're here for this morning.
Okay, we are here to promote a digital recording we made. Actually, the songs were recorded back in 1984 when
Ooh.
I was an activist in the women's rights movement, and I wrote songs and performed them. and we recorded this particular collection in our living room, and his older brother plays guitar on it, which is really
Darren
fun.
Embry is the plays guitar, bass, and arranged a lot of the music.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And so during the 80s and 90s and into the thousands, actually, I was very busy politically working on different issues for women's rights.
Good.
Good. Hey,
Right,
I knew
right.
I liked her. and I sold some to activists and whatnot. And so a few months ago, I was digging through some papers and things, and I found one of these old cassettes.
Oh.
And I thought, this is the year for it, because we only need one more state to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment, and then we'll put it in the Constitution. I don't know how familiar you are with it, because it's not been a very public issue for a while, but it was brought into Congress in 1923, and I figure 97 years is long enough for people to have read it.
That's for
And
sure.
so we only need one more state. There are 14 that are not ratified.
And also, I believe that the current status is that. That being said, the current administration will oppose it and try to funnel the ERA into the courts for some
yes.
sort of federal court battle that will eventually adjudicate the question, which could put it off for a while longer, unfortunately.
Yes,
Good
getting
Lord,
it into the Constitution will be the beginning of the battle for the antis. And there's a whole long story and a history of this. It was written by a woman named Alice Paul, who brought it to a congressman in 1923, who happened to be the nephew of Susan B. Anthony,
Oh my gosh.
who got women the vote in 1920.
That's for sure.
But it sat there in Congress till 72. You need 2/3 of the houses, and they finally approved it. We need 3/4 of the states, which have now gone from 48 to 50. So it's an issue that goes on and on and on, and I didn't understand why for a long time. When I first got involved, I thought, I'll take these petitions out round that says sign this, and people will say, oh, I didn't know I was in the Constitution, where do I sign? No. It's the oldest ism, sexism. 51% of us are women, 49% of us are male in the world overall. And it's been around for probably hundreds of thousands of years, if we want to go
And
back.
women are not equally represented in the government, so rather than democracy, that's actually tyranny.
I would agree with that.
Just
I have
naked
to.
tyranny.
Well, you see, there are many things
Embarrassing.
that the Constitution prevents us from discriminating against areas. You can't on religion or color or ethnicity or disability, all kinds of things, but not on gender. So gender is allowed, and the reason it works is because when you keep a group of people oppressed in any way for any length of time, if they internalize that belief that they aren't as good, that they can't make it, they will stay where they're supposed to stay.
Yes, and
that's
they have.
what's happened to females. We train girls to believe that they're second, not first.
That's right.
So it's not that we have written a lot of laws that keep us out of things. We've put it in people's heads. In fact, there were some slaves who fought for the South in the Civil War because they had internalized the belief that they were inferior, and that what would they do if they were freed? Well, they were freed, and they were right. They were just kicked out and said, good luck to you. Don't let the door hit you on the way back out.
Well, that's for sure.
And they suffered because they couldn't read or write. It was against the law to teach slaves to do that. They had no training. So being oppressed comes in many packages, and sometimes it's subtle and sometimes it's not. So when I finally understood that, it took us 72 years to get the vote. Now it's taking 97 and counting to get into the Constitution. So give me a break. So we think that this year, in spite of the administration's opposition to women's progress, because there are several states that are actively working on this, we might actually make it to the next level, which will mean the courts, which is ominous with the Supreme Court, the way it's set up. But you don't stop. If you stop, They won.
That's a great lead-in because I want to play another song. Maybe we could play a track called It's a Man's World. Really has to do with women voting. And I think even though this song was from the 80s and there were different figures in the play, there's definitely enough reason for any woman to not vote for the current president or any of this male-dominated administration, white male-dominated administration, even just for the reason that there's so many unadjudicated cases of potential rape and sexual abuse by this president. For that reason alone, and raised as the way I do and just the basic morality and decency that I have, I would never support any person for any federal office who had that many clouds over them in relation to their treatment of women. And let it be adjudicated. If the man's guilty, let's just have the court cases. It's called the law. It's called due process. Let's have it before any woman hopefully would even consider voting for a person like that.
But there are women who do vote against their own rights. I remember my father asked me that one year, and it's because of what I just explained to you.
Yeah.
He really didn't understand. And there's a song in this collection called "The Feminist Moms," because this young man
But he's
and
gonna play
his
It's a Man's
brother
World.
really didn't have much of a choice. It was in the air and the water.
But you have brought up your son to be a different kind of man.
Yes,
And
he's a
I'm
feminist
proud of you
man.
for that.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, both of you.
There have always been men who cared. There
Yes.
have always been men who recognized that this world isn't shared equally. Women are shortchanged on Social Security, on pensions, on all kinds of.
Tell me, I know that.
Let me tell you a little bit, which will explain. There was a civil rights lawyer who died a few years ago named Flo Kennedy, very outspoken. She went into a courtroom one day to deal with a trial, and she was wearing a pantsuit. And the judge said something to, I'm going to paraphrase, the judge said, "When you come back dressed properly as a woman in a dress, I'll hear the case." And she turned to the judge and said, "Well, when you get out of the robe and wear trousers, I'll be back."
Perfect.
So she also said, and this is the thing that I have used in many speeches and rallies. She said, and think about this, except for sperm donor and wet nurse, every job should be available for everyone to try out for. I can't give sperm and he can't nurse a baby. But
That's for sure.
otherwise, why should we be judged on our reproductive capacities when we're more than walking wombs, thank you? Babies are wonderful. I had 2 great ones myself.
One more song. Hold that thought. It's a Man's World. If we can get Michael to play that back there, if that's possible.
Oh, he can do it.
So they think they heard us speak out at the polls in '82. Oh, well, we just might have a few more things to say. There is a message we are sending about a dream just coming true, that the patriarchy's finally seen its day. It's a man's world unless women vote. It's a man's world, sure as sin. It's a man's world unless women vote. Now the old boys club is through. We're coming in. Yes, I know that we've been voting now for 60 years and more. But without a single voice, we've not been heard. We've been voting like they told us to. We'll think for you, they swore. Why, your rights are safe with us, dear. That's absurd. It's a man's world unless women vote. For a world that's free and just. It's a man's world unless women vote. Now from here on in, they'll have to deal with us. So we've a gift for Ronald Reagan, one that's truly from the heart. knowing just how much he loves to get away. We have boats to send him packing, we have boats to help him start on a permanent Santa Barbara holiday. It's a man's world unless women vote. It's time women had their say. It's a man's world unless women vote. All the gender gap just proves we're on our way. No more man's world.
That was my. And we're going to do feminist blues too.
Are we back?
Is there time?
Okay,
to do
we're back
another
again.
tune?
We played Feminist Blues. That was already. Yeah.
Oh, we played it. Well, you see, I
Yeah.
don't hear very well either.
Okay, well, anyway, I'm so glad you came in today,
Well,
and I
I-
want you to come in because there's so much more that you haven't had a chance to say.
Well, it goes on. I spoke on it all around in different states that weren't ratified, to women's groups, to classrooms. One young woman in high school raised a Haskell and said, I believe in everything you say, equal rights, equal pay, but can we do that and still be ladies? And I said, actually, no, because ladies have tea and wear silk dresses with pearls, which is perfectly fine, by the way. I'm not against
No.
tea. I love tea and I like pearls. But a lady, as we have been taught to understand a lady, doesn't change things. She goes along with the program. She supports other people. She follows other people's goals and simply is the background. And so probably you're going to have to step a little bit out of your comfort zone. So give me a call and we'll talk about it. But you see the conditioning that has come about.
Tell me about it.
Just a couple less things. I wanted to thank John Coons for engineering this project and also digitizing it. And hopefully we'll be back soon. There's another recent album called Better Together of original songs by Mom and Dr. Richard Wolk. Maybe next month, Carol and Michael Willing and Mike Briggs Willing will come in to talk about that. So,
and we
thank you.
also have a spoken word collection. The Bee was very generous to me in the 80s and 90s and printed practically every letter I wrote, and I was writing every day because I had this up to here and I had a share. And the Bee was very kind, and most of them ran, and so we have more than enough for several collections, but we have one that I think for someone who's interested in this issue, or at least wants to learn more because maybe their opposition is not serving them well, might find those interesting.
Everything you say is interesting, lady. And
all of it can be at
nostrings.bandcamp.com,
nostrings.bandcamp.com, and it's up on the screen for you all.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much.
That's wonderful.
Thanks,
Well, you
everybody.
can come home with me when I'm depressed, Carol. Can you drop by?
Yes, definitely. I mean, seriously, I love you.
I'm very serious too. Thank you so much. You've been delightful. You do this very well.
Oh, thank you.
And
Love
you're
you.
So pretty.
Thank you, Carol.
Thanks for
so
coming
much.
in. Do you know you know what I say? Come back.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks
Thank
to
you
Michael
so
as
very
well.
much.
Thank you,
Come
Michael.
and see us next Thursday.
Cheers.
Women started marching in 1848. All women started marching way back in 1848. All we're marching yet today, 'cause the need is still so great. They finally freed the black man in 1865. Don't you know they finally freed the black man in 1865. Hey, we're waiting for our turn, and our hopes remain alive. Oh, now they said that we could vote in 1920. Well, the fight's not over. over yet, we got a long way still to go. Said that we could vote in 19 and 20. Oh, well, the fight's not over yet, we have a long way yet to go. Alice brought it into Congress in 1923. Alice brought it into Congress in 1923. Well, we still ain't got that ERA. Now it's up to you and me. Oh, Alice died without it. Now it's up to me and you. Alice Paul died without it. Well, now it's up to me and you. Oh, we've had a new beginning. This time we're gonna push it through. I tell you, women still are marching lines as far as you can see. The struggle will continue till we gain equality. Women still are marching in lines as far as you can see. And the struggle will continue until we gain real